We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone U.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another awesome episode of Ask a Drone U, and my name is Paul.
And I'm Rob, and you're listening to episode number 321. Thank you very much. We appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with us.
We definitely
Welcome
appreciate
back, Paul.
it. Well, thank you. You know, I was realizing this morning I'm a little slow, I'm a little tired. I forgot to do my neck exercises today.
Now your work is done here.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I can come in the office for us to do my daily stretches.
Absolutely.
So.
I'm glad because we got to keep that neck in shape.
Yeah. Actually, I lost 5 pounds from all the walking at NAB.
Did you really?
I'm not kidding. Literally 5 pounds I weighed in this morning. So I'm happy about that.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you. How have you been? How's everything here at Drone U? I mean, there's a lot going on out there. How was it here?
You know, it was actually pretty quiet. It was kind of nice. We took it easy, and but we're ready to get back rolling. Glad you're back. Glad John's back. John was out for a little while, so things are back to normal, which is the way they should be.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
but I'm excited to hear all about, obviously you did some podcasts while you were out there, and so we got to hear a little bit about what's going on.
And by the way, for everyone out there, there will be other episodes. We did a lot on VR because we believe that 360 technology and what that is going to do to drones is really going to be the new kind of form of content. And I have to say, I didn't really believe a lot in VR, but when I got to experience Moscow from the air in 360, it was incredible. And what I realized, Rob, is it's more of an emotional experience. It's something that you can truly enjoy. I mean, you can move around and it looks like you're there. So in fact, I was so stunned and shocked and awed when I was looking around, I tripped over a chair because I was walking
Yeah, you
around.
probably should not be moving
No.
when you're doing that.
No, not a good idea. But we've got a lot coming to you. But today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the implications that drones could play macroeconomically. I guess, would you say that's the right way to say it?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think one of the things that's kind of spurred this conversation is that you are really, really excited about the Matrice.
Well,
right?
I'm excited for it not because of the drone in particular, not because it's a great camera, not because of the capabilities of the drone as far as flight time or any of that, but because of the macro effect on the economy that drone will have. Because in order for drones to be implemented as a mass acceptance for society,
right.
There's a couple hurdles that we have to come over.
Right.
Number one, they've got to be extremely reliable. The Matrice 600 with its triple points of redundancy, triple IMUs.
Redundancy is really, really big. It's a big part of that.
It's a huge part. And when you're eliminating risk, society is going to say, okay, well, we feel a little bit more comfortable with this. But we've got to have centimeter grade data and accurate data so that when we teach these drones how to do jobs, like, for example, autonomously doing cell tower inspections, autonomously mapping the side of a road because there was a recent rock fall. It's hundreds of thousands of solutions to hundreds of thousands of problems.
Right.
And I really mean that. And with this new RTK GPS, with the centimeter level of accuracy, with the redundancy that we have, I believe that all of these things are going to be providing us with data that can be built on to create the systems, to take care of the tasks, to solve the problems. And with having this reliable, safe system, I believe that this is one of the first huge steps for the macroeconomic success of the economy, because the economy grows at a certain rate. We're all used to being like, oh, well, the Dow, we only grew 1%, 2%. I don't think people can expect the growth rates we've seen in the last 10 to 20 years simply because we have no economies of scale. We have no way, like what the telephone did for communication and business by creating exponential growth factor. We don't have anything right now in the technology industry that could provide that economy of scale.
And what you're saying is that the drone could be that thing.
Yes.
So one of the things that you've talked about in the past is that we don't have the ability necessarily to do it well anyways, and that is to process all that data.
Correct.
So has that changed?
I do think it has changed significantly. I think that we're still having restraints based on hardware, also based on the ability to transmit certain types of data, yes. But I just think this is the most significant move forward that we're making to implement drones into society.
It's a huge step. It's not even a little step.
Well,
I don't want to overstate that.
Yeah,
but
for
correct me.
example, in order to tell a drone, say, hey, I forgot my pants this morning, can you bring them to my office? The drone has to have data to be able to...
I hate when that happens, by the way.
I know, it happens to me all the time, by the way.
Because then I just have to go back home in my underwear and get them.
Yeah.
So weird.
It's awkward.
Anyways,
definitely.
go ahead.
It is definitely awkward. By the way, you don't want to see Rob in his underwear. He's kind of like the whitey-tighties guy. Anyway. So,
wait, how do you know that?
That's now awkward.
Not true, by the way. Anyways.
Anyway, the point is that we have to have the data to build the foundation for an app. To be able to create processes and systems for drones to make if-then decisions, algorithms, and again, solving problems and creating more efficient ways of doing business.
Sure. So what else about this particular drone? Let's talk a little bit about it because it was featured essentially in terms of at least what you noticed and what kind of jumped out at you. Well, I know there was a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, and at first, really, I wasn't even that impressed with the M600. It was kind of like, big heavy lifter, cool. And then I really started delving into the science behind it, and there are really significant breakthroughs here in the drone economy, in the drone economy industry with this. And the thing is that we were working with RTK GPS with Gridlock 2 years ago.
Right.
And, one of the difficulties that we had with Gridlock in the system and deploying drones autonomously was the accuracy to get the same work done time and time and time again, that reliability factor.
Sure.
Because it wouldn't land in the right place, wouldn't charge in the right place. And we knew RTK was the solution, but at the time, there was no way that we could implement it because it was just too expensive.
Right. And they've taken it and put it into the hands of a consumer, although this isn't your everyday drone either.
No, it is not.
I mean, it starts at about $5,000, right? So
true, but I mean, let's put it in perspective, Rob. If we wanted the same type of drone to fly a Red camera, to fly an RE Mini, to fly big cinema cameras, we're looking probably at getting the Alta drone by FreeFly. It's going to have the M10 gimbal. We're going to be able to carry about 10 pounds, maybe get 12 to 15 minutes of flight time. And I would really say 12 minutes of flight time. Now with the Matrice 600, we now have half the cost of the same or similar platform with more capability. And also the other point of redundancy that you wouldn't have with the Alta are the 6 batteries that the Matrice has. We know how battery errors happen. They happen all the time. And if you have 6 batteries plugged into one drone and one battery goes down, no big deal.
Since you bring up batteries, I have a question for you. And this is actually coming from Vic.
Okay.
He posted this in the community, which I thought was a really interesting question. He says, if we're talking about 6 batteries and that much weight, at what point do we just move to gas? And maybe it's kind of a goofy question, or is that a real...
No, I think it's actually a very good question because someone had just made the Matrice 100 with the hydrogen fuel cell.
Okay.
Where it can fly for hours.
Yeah.
He makes a good point, but if you remember from yesterday's podcast, 3DR had that tethering cable. They flew that solo from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, nonstop. It never came down.
Wow.
On a tether. So could you use gas? Well, not inside of a building. Could you also tether the drone? There's your constant surveillance right there.
Interesting.
I mean?
That's just interesting to think about those things because we have to be careful not to get in a rut in terms of the way things are going, batteries. Although with what Tesla's doing, who knows what we're going to see with the batteries and the efficiencies on those. But I don't know, maybe gas will make a comeback when it comes to something like these drones.
Yeah, well, and batteries are going to be 10% lighter with the new silicone lithium batteries that we saw at Tesla, and who knows when that'll be more implemented into, the drones that we see today. But we are seeing advancements and significant advancements. That's definitely true.
So what else did you see out there as you talk about the effect of drones on the economy? Did you see any other products or any other companies and things that they're doing that sort of speak to that increase in the proliferation of drones and helping the economy?
Well, yeah, I don't think I gave you enough credit for 3D Robotics site scan application. Now, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't been able to use it yet. We do have a solo here that, thanks to 3D Robotics, thank you, to be able to test the site scan out. But what I'm seeing is that companies are trying to create the all-in-one solution.
Right.
The fly, acquire, capture, transmit the data, interpret the data, all in one.
As efficiently as possible.
Yes.
'Cause time is so important, obviously.
Exactly. And with, SiteScan is doing that. Drone Deploy does that. I still think Drone Deploy has a little bit over SiteScan just as far as the amount of deliverables that Drone Deploy can output to. I still don't have that full list from 3D Robotics yet, but I can go online and find out.
Cool.
I just didn't have time this morning.
Right.
I feel like my head is spinning right now. It's been a wild week.
Sounds like it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, frankly. It was really cool to see a lot of people. I saw Mark Payne out there.
Cool.
Great friend. I got to meet Devin Supertramp, talk to him for a little while. I'm really excited about that. I can't talk about what I'm talking about with him, but very excited about that. There's just, so much going on. It's incredible. It really is. And I'm also very encouraged to see that the good-hearted, trustworthy people are making significantly more progress than the people who are one way to your face and then a different way behind your back. And every industry has that. But
yeah, that's kind of the story for the last 6,000 years.
yeah,
I mean, that's just
but
human nature.
those people will sink themselves, so
Yeah.
you just let them do their thing.
Yeah, well, it's a really exciting time to be a part of the drone industry. As you saw out at NAB, I think it's only going to get better. It's going to get more exciting, and we're going to stay on top of all that stuff.
It's very true. And guys, thank you so much for listening in. We're going to have more on the Z1 camera too. Really excited about that. We're going to talk about that, be testing that. It's one of the smallest micro Four Thirds cameras that's out there. And I think it could be really beneficial to a lot of people and how they use that, the interchangeable lenses, but also the size and scale of the camera and what you can do with it because it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So excited to go over that. Excited also to have more about VR and kind of talk about what effects that'll have on the market. I know we're just in the beginning of VR right now. It's kind of like the Palm Pilot before the iPhone. I feel like that's kind of where we
Still
are.
seems like it's mostly a racer kind of thing.
Eraser?
No, racer. Like the
Oh.
racers are used. Well, I guess I'm just thinking of the goggles and the.
Well, I mean, I could see like 3D racing, yeah, but that would make me sick to my stomach, honestly. I think it's more of a virtual experience. It's a new way for people to consume content. It could change the way we watch movies at the movie theater. And think about it this way. You could film the same thing and people could watch it 100 different ways and everyone would have their own unique experience.
So it's like a new dimension to the world that we live in.
Yeah. Well, imagine
Fourth
if
dimension,
instead of your couch being on the back wall and your TV being on the front wall, your couch is now on a circle moving on a platform in the middle of your living room and you're like looking around like, whoa, what's going on? And having a little freak out accident if you were about to fall over a waterfall or something.
Freak out accident. I don't know what that looks like, but you're going to have padded walls,
Yes.
right? Nothing in your way that you can trip over.
I am actually
Keep the kids out of the
super
room.
guilty of tripping over while enjoying VR, so tripping over chairs at least.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like fun.
But we had a blast, and I just want to say thanks again to Alex Wright from Drone Depot. Thanks to Jason, Legal Flyer. Legal Flyer is the little thing that's on the side of my car, and it's an amazing app to get property permission, and you guys should be using it. It was good to see a lot of a lot of listeners too. I had so many people come up to me and be like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And it was just so cool to see that, and it was awesome to experience just meeting people and hearing feedback. I mean, it was truly amazing. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for those reviews. I mean, it really does a lot for us.
Yeah.
We appreciate you listening. And I had so many people ask me, what does Drone U do? Because you guys provide such valuable content on the podcast for free. Like, how do you guys stick around? It's like, well,
and I think what people are seeing there is that we really care about the industry.
yeah.
And when you do that and when you care and you just try to educate people and help them get better at what they do, the success will come financially, and so we get that.
That's right.
And by the way, keep sending your questions. That is why we're here. We want to answer your questions. So don't forget to go to Ask Drone U and send those in, and we'll kind of get back on a regular track here now that NAB is over.
Oh,
And,
yeah, I feel like
start
summer's
answering those
ramping up,
questions
though.
again.
Everyone, and I know you guys are experiencing it as I'm experiencing it. Jobs are ramping up. Things are happening.
There's more and more opportunity
it's insane.
than ever before.
Oh, it's insane. It's like,
Yeah.
it's because society has been like, oh, this is useful.
Right.
Boom. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Paul.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Drone U.
We believe that videos, images, words, and sounds have the absolute power to inform, inspire, and entertain. We are united under the virtues of safety and knowledge. We are a training community of learners and teachers who encourage and energize each other to achieve greatness. We are pilots, videographers, photographers, freelancers, business owners, enthusiasts, experts, and apprentices. We are creators. We are the Drone Youth.